Welcome back to Ravenport on Farming Simulator 19 for episode 25 with me, MrSealyp. What have I done since the last episode? Well, field 11 has been fertilised, and that's back over here. I've put another bag in there. I did buy, where is it? The front loader bag lifter from that pack, the lizard one, for here as well, because it works brilliantly. I have absolutely had no complaints with that whatsoever. As you may have noticed as well, a lot of the machinery, trailers, odds and ends that have been laying around have now been taken back down to the farm. The tractors will be following suit very, very shortly. This may well sort of end up being here more regularly, simply because this is where I'll be picking up the fertiliser from. It just kind of makes more sense. I took on, as you've already seen, a couple of contracts done. Then I took on the contract on field 12 for wheat. I took the John Deere up there as well, the 560. That's been helping with the harvest, and that's probably almost finished now. It's doing the last little strip. I'm going to do enough of the wheat to fulfill the contract, but I'm not going to then sell the rest to make any money. The rest of the wheat I'm going to keep. We'll get onto that in a little while, but first things first, let's spend some money, because we've got a fair bit and there's a couple of things I want to buy. So first up, we've got a 450 horsepower John Deere. Now, I thought I'm going to go disc harrows rather than cultivators. The cultivators require a lot more horsepower. And here's the thing. If you're new to the game, I'm not a farmer by any means. And this is sort of information I've gleaned. And if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. I'd like to try to work things out and learn about them. But generally speaking, the cultivators will have like small chisels on them as well. They will kind of chisel to a certain depth, and then hopefully on the back it has like discs and stuff to smooth it all out as it goes, generally speaking. Disc harrows generally won't do the chisel bit, but they will do the tidying up and sort of smoothing of the seed bed afterwards. The subsoilers are more like the chisel ploughs, and they will go much, much deeper to turn the ground over, a bit more like a ripper, I think they call them, in certain parts of the world. And then you've got your power harrows. And your power harrows generally, because they're powered, they've got the PTO on them, they actually spin. That's more for breaking up kind of like clods, lumps of earth that have been pulled up either by subsoiling, chisel ploughing, those kind of things. Things that are disc harrowed, normally the disc harrows and cultivators run on just the weight of them. The weight of them kind of breaks everything up. But then when you've got clods and stuff that won't break up just by the weight of them, the powered harrows do that. I think that's right. And that's kind of why they've given you those options. You might want to go down those routes. Now, obviously, in-game, you don't get clods and things building up, but you might want to go down the power harrow route. I'm going to go down the disc harrow route. Sorry for whittering on about it, but I just, try and explain myself. Now, I did think about going for the Lemken, because I do like that, and that will take 400 horsepower off my 450 on the John Deere. However, 360 horsepower, we've got the Joker 12. The Joker is a 12.2 metre, and the Gigant 12S is a 16. Not a huge difference between them. It will make a difference, but there's a difference of 41 grand there as well. So I think I'm going to go with the Joker. I might regret that, but to be fair, 12.2 metre, that's not to be sniffed at. That'll run at, I know I keep saying things like that, sorry, 10. They both run at 10 miles an hour, and it will give me a bit more horsepower to play with. So, the carrier is an 8.3, so there's a big jump up between those ones. And realistically, only 5,000 difference between those. So I'm going to go with the Joker. So let's buy that. Again, more expansion to MrSealyp's farming services. I can provide more farming services now with the equipment that I'm buying. Now I'm going to buy a seeder. And I think I'm going to go for a HORSCH Pronto 9DC. I did think about the Lemken Solitaire. It only requires 150 horsepower as well, actually. The Solitaire. Difference of 3 grand. That one does fertilise as well, but I don't mind running over the fertiliser spreader. And it's the difference between 9 and 12 metres. You know what? I'm going to go with the Lemken Solitaire 12. Yeah, why not? Let's get that bad boy, shall we? That will take a fair bit of seed as well, which is quite good. So there we go. So we've got some seeding options, which is brilliant. That I think is going to do for the time being. Now I'm going to take the cultivator straight away over to field 11 because that needs cultivating now. Do I get a front tank as well? I said I was going to, didn't I? Now this is why I have a few comments left on this as well. That one will take seed, and under the planters, apparently that one only does fertiliser. Oh yeah, it doesn't only does fertiliser. That would explain why I couldn't get seed to go into it. And that one will do both. Okay, so I could go with the Tempo 2,200 litres. I'm going to go with that one. Let's buy that. So we've got some extra seed capacity. That kind of makes more sense. So, new equipment. That's not mine. That's from the borrowed equipment. So we've spent 195 grand. That went fairly quickly. But shiny new toys to play with. So, like I say, first things first, let's grab the John Deere. The John Deere comes standard with the wheel weights on, I think. Anyway, did I put whites on it? I don't think I did I? Let's just stick with normal. I can't remember what I put on this. But let's grab that. It does mean that Solitaire, because that only requires 150 horsepower, I can actually seed using the case. That would help if I actually went in reverse and not forward, wouldn't it? There we go. So we're going to head up to field 11. I'm going to get this cultivating. Now I was considering, and I don't know if I'm going to now actually, I was considering selling field 11. I've fertilised it, I'm going to cultivate it, and I was considering buying field 4, which I think is a little bit bigger. It's hard to tell because until contracts come up, finding out what the acreage or the hectare is on them, it doesn't actually say when you look on the field view. This should be finished now. We are done. Right. So this is where this next step's going to come in. Actually, what I will do, I'm going to pull over. I'm going to do this step next. So, turn the engine off on that, through the bushes. That should now be full. Now I was thinking of upgrading this, the 560 to the S thingamajig. Oh, blimey. Yes, something. Why can't I remember the number for that? That's weird, isn't it? Because I do like the look of it. The S790. And you can put jewels on it and all sorts. Jump up in capacity as well, but it's 47 slots. That's quite a lot on it. Difference in those two is only 500 litres. Not a huge amount. That's another jump up. Oh, I don't know what to do. I've had some people saying that the S790 and the large header, there are issues with it, so I don't know. I'm happy with the 560. It works really, really well. That will need a bit of maintenance, and it will need a clean. So that'll need to go back down to the farm. I'm thinking I might need to clear a bit of land where I had all the bales originally down on my little plot. Clear some trees and maybe do a bit of landscaping and stick another barn down maybe. I was just thinking somewhere to put the header, because that's going to be on the header trailer, and I haven't really got anywhere to put that. Oh, I don't know. Too many things buzzing around my head at the same time, really. So, like I say, I think we're at 80-something% delivered. The contract is sitting at... What is the contract sitting at? 97% done, so it's not going to need all this. It didn't pay out a lot, but there is a sowing contract there on field 8 for 28 grand. Now I've just bought a seeder, so I could get the full 28 on that. I might have to buy some seed on a cultivating job there. Now I've got the cultivator. This is the thing, isn't it? It's not a lot. It's not expensive, too expensive to borrow equipment, but it does mean that now I've built up a bit more sort of inventory. I can do a lot more of those contracts myself, and I'm then making the full amount of money rather than losing a little bit. Plus I know that, I mean, there's that weighing up the fact that using my own equipment's putting wear and tear on it, and I'm going to have to repair it and stuff during contracts or after. But that said, when you borrow equipment, often it's in really poor shape, and sometimes you have to do a bit of work on it as well then, so it swings and roundabouts. The funny thing is as well that dawned on me, and I know it's one of those kind of people go, well yeah, obviously. On 17 you had that at midnight you got charged your repair costs, and it was always that, oh, it's out of order, you know, I haven't used this equipment or that equipment or whatever it might be, and I've just been charged whatever, 3 grand, 2 grand, whatever it might be, for like maintenance, ongoing maintenance. What I'm curious about, and I think because generally speaking I'm doing work and I'll do repairs after every bit of work I do, you probably find you're paying out more than you were on an FS17, but because you're doing it in small little increments you don't really mind. You know, $100 here, a couple of $100 there, you know, $20 there, a little bit. When you add it all up over the course of the day, you probably are paying out the same as you were on 17. It just doesn't come out in one big chunk, does it? So what I've got to do now is keep an eye on that up the top corner, and that's the problem. Actually, I'll zoom in a little bit, because as soon as that says complete, I need to stop this unloading. So I want to keep some of the wheat. How much have I got? 4,600. That might be alright. I made a little bit, but the contract is complete. Now I've got to make sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut across this field here. I'm just going to dump this wheat down because I don't have a silo yet. I'm going to dump it on the ground. It will all become clear. You may already be thinking in your head what may be happening, but I'm going to put it around, probably just stick it in the barn for the time being, and then yeah, on the floor, and I can pick it up with the telehandler. That's not a problem, because I don't want to do contract complete, because then this machinery will disappear and so will the wheat. So I've got to be incredibly careful. So just tip it on the ground. It's not a huge amount, but it's there. Right, okay. That's that done. Yeah, actually the point I was going to say, what I might do, just notice here I've got a pile of logs. That's where I cut a tree down. Where was it? It was here somewhere, so I could landscape this bit. What I'm thinking of doing now is taking out that one, that one, and doing the same. It's going to cost a bit of money, but I'm thinking if I pick up a fertilising contract for like 20 grand on field 5 or something, you know, like I have done, just spending that money in landscape right across there, bring it out flat, it's going to mean a lot of earthworks and a lot of moving and that kind of stuff, but it gives me a kind of flatter plateau out here to maybe stick another barn or something on here. It's all options anyway. Oh, well, what I wouldn't give for the Rayboard Xylor right now. Just take those trees out, you know. Get shot of them straight away. Anyway, right, that'll go back, and I need to get on with this cultivating on field 11, don't I? And then we'll get on to our next job. It's 5:15. The sun is dipping, so I want to get this next bit done before it gets too dark to see. So I'll just set that off. I might take on the sowing contract and get that going as well. It just sort of makes sense. Why not? That can be chugging along in the background and making me money. Not that I'm short of a few bob at the moment, but it all comes in handy, doesn't it? No, I don't have to drive this back to the store. There's absolutely no need to. I can complete the contract and the farmer will come and collect his equipment from wherever it is on the map. But it's just... I don't play ultra realistically. I've never professed to. I've never done a realistic series. I'm not a farmer, so what I may consider to be realistic in my mind is I'm using farm machinery. You know, so I can never profess to doing a realistic series because I don't know technically what would be done, what wouldn't be done. Just stuff that I've learned. I try to do things, I would say, a bit more real than I used to. Maybe it comes and goes. Like I say, things like driving more in cab, and if I was going to do an ultra realistic series, it would all be in cab. I know there's a lot of farmers using drones and stuff now, and if you can fly watching a screen with a drone, and you know, let's be honest, it's all going to be mostly in cab. So you know, there's a bit of both, bit of artistic license. Plus, I'm trying to make videos. You know, we'll see how we get on. Right, so contract, that's on that screen there. 7,183 we'll collect on that. The sowing contract I'm going to accept, but not borrow this time. Oh, that's a big difference. It's going to take a while to do field 8 with the one I've got. If I use that equipment they're giving me, it wouldn't take very long at all, because that is massive equipment. I'm always tempted to use it because I haven't really used... No, I'm going to use my own. That's the whole point of building up the farm, isn't it? About building up my contracting services. Yeah, let's accept the contract. Don't disappear. Whew, I thought I was going to go then. Right, where are we heading to? Actually, you know what? I can do both at the same time, can't I? Right, I'm going to fill this up. We'll get the... oh, it's got... I suddenly thought, no, it hasn't got a front 3-point link. Of course it has. Of course it has. These should work in conjunction with each other. Should give me a nice bit of seed capacity too. Line up a little bit better on that. There we go. That needs to be on... No, don't want lights on. That. It needs to be on... That's oats. That's canola, isn't it? This contract was for canola, wasn't it? It was. Right, I'll see you in a minute. And I'll head up to field 8, then I can walk back from field 8 to pick up my cultivator, and then we'll get the cultivating done on field 11. Yes, right, now seeds, that's what I need. Do I need to open this up to fill it up? Potentially. $8,000 leads on board. That should do us alright. Things off. Not quite sure how quickly it's going to get through it, but we'll see. Actually, that field seems to... should be alright. Okay, right, well... I'll get out of the way. Let my worker get on with that. Now I'll go around and get the cultivator. Probably need to fold up the harvester. That will need to go back on the... header will need to go back on the trailer. I could probably do with getting a workshop, I suppose, down at the farm as well. I know it's not far, is it? I mean, it's just up the hill to get it repaired at the garage, but I guess it would make sense to have a workshop at my farm so I can do the work myself. Right, let's get the pipe in. Close that. Where did I put the header trailer? Just over here. And let's try that, driving over someone else's crops to line that up as best we can. Not spot on, is it? That'll probably do for the time being, I think. That's, like I say, if I was doing this realistically, I'd be in this view. And trying to do this now, can you know, like I say, can you imagine? It's a lot to take in, isn't it? Mind you though, I suppose if I'm about... Depth perception's a tricky one on this. I think I might be slightly sideways. Lower that down. Disconnect. Yeah, it's not straight, is it? But I don't know, it's on. That's the main thing. It's on, isn't it? Swing around in front of that. So obviously you can't look behind you. I've just got to hope. Mirrors might help a little bit, I don't know. Let's just back up until... Well, there's the header in the mirror. I'm not getting the hook up symbol, am I? This is... Oh, hang on though. Hang on. Oh. You know what? I might actually be quite good at this. Right. Okay, so that's now ready to go back. There's no header on the floor, so that's alright. Bonus. Stop there. Turn the engine off. Come back for that later on. Happy. I just simply spend my life walking through bushes in this episode. And get this to field 11. Get on with this. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Now for cultivating, again, a lot of people have asked me about tyres, tyre choices. Generally speaking, when I play the game, I stick wides on because I think they look brilliant. I use narrows if I'm doing something where it's row crop work and I don't want to damage the crops. I don't often use twins, and I don't know aesthetically or, you know, in real life, if I was cultivating, probably would stick them on. It spreads the weight of the tractor and avoids too much more compaction. Should give you more traction as well on the ground, having, you know, kind of technically 8 tyres on the deck rather than 4. So I suppose, yeah, technically the same for ploughing probably. I don't know. Like I say, I'm not a farmer, I don't know for definite though. It's all just kind of things I've gleaned, and the weird thing is I watch videos, a lot of videos on YouTube, farmers doing their thing, you know, how farms work, manual farmer. You know, there's a British farming one I started watching recently. What was that called? Can't remember now. And they all seem to run different setups, which is weird. Some would put twins on, some won't. I suppose it comes down to whether they own twins or not. Some will have twin rears and not on the fronts, and there doesn't seem to be a kind of hard and fast rule. I guess it depends where in the world you are. It depends on the ground type, whether it's clay, heavy, whether it's light, sandy, you know, I don't know, like I say, there are so many variables in the real world, I guess. But anyway, we are now with our own equipment, not leasing a cultivator now. We are cultivating field 11. Like I say, it has been fertilised, so it's got one state on it. This didn't require lime and didn't require ploughing. It didn't say it required ploughing, actually I better check that. Let's have a quick look. Scroll across field 11. Growth is harvested, should say harvested. And as far as soil composition goes, yeah, we're fine. Now I'm going to turn that this way, just to do this end bit first. I always try and get this little triangle out of the way, and then I can leave the worker to get on. I mean, the worker will probably get on with it now anyway. It's just a case of making sure it turns the right way first. Now I don't doubt that larger cultivator, not cultivator, disc harrow, I went for, didn't I, in the end. This would have pulled it no problem at all. I don't doubt that. It required 400 horsepower, this has got 450. So I could have gone larger. I mean, technically I've saved myself 40 grand, but I don't know. Then there's the time aspect. If I do things quicker, I can move on to other jobs, so I don't know really. Right, that's now getting on with that. So I'm going to jump out of that and try not to get run over. Sorry, blocking. I am that object. Go over to field 8, check what's going on here. It's interesting to me as well. I often find, I know I'm talking a lot today, sorry, I apologise, that some episodes I do can span almost an entire day, depending on the job you're doing. Like the cotton harvest took a lot of the day. This episode will probably only span a couple of hours in game time, simply because of the jobs I'm doing, and there were certain things in a certain order I needed to get done. I'm coming over here trying to catch up with this because I'm pretty sure it will stop short because of the central grain elevator. So what I want to do is get to it, get into it, and do this top end first so it will turn around. I mean, I could leave it doing that. Let's just jump in, take over from the worker a minute. I'm going to run a couple of strips the other way. I mean, technically this would be a headland, I guess, wouldn't it? It will go up and down, no problem at all. Then you would come in later on and do these ends. Same with ploughing and that kind of thing, but I'm going to do them first, and then the worker can just crack on them. This hasn't used as much seed as I thought it was going to. I thought this would be absolutely honking down, but canola seems to be pretty good. Right, so once this is done, I'll do one pass this way, one pass that way. Might need to do a third. I don't know if that'll be enough to fill in that gap. And then I'll let it carry on going up and down the field. And then we'll get on to the next project, which you already know what it is from the thumbnail, but you know, we'll get over there and we'll get on with that. This is not a bad size seeder, considering it only requires 150 horsepower. That's brilliant. Now I know it only seeds, doesn't fertilise as well, but generally speaking, if I fertilise the field first before I then do cultivating and stuff, then I seed, I can come back later on in its first growth stage and stick some more fertiliser down. I want to get to the point where my cows have produced enough manure that I can do some muck spreading maybe, but the problem is on big fields like this, I just haven't got enough of it. It would be so nice to have one of Alien Jim's, you know, his maps where you can buy manure and you can buy, I know he's converting over Mercury Farms, and there's going to be some nice surprises on there, some interesting stuff. He's working on that at the moment, adding a few finishing touches before submitting. I know DJ Goham's been doing some videos on it as it's been kind of progressing. Jim's been giving him kind of updated versions. So if you're interested in seeing the progression of that, whiz over and have a look at his. Like I say, as soon as it comes out, I'll do a first look on it. I know I've done a first look on it on 17, but a lot has changed, believe me. So anyway, right, I'm going to let this carry on. I will see you in a minute I will probably be back down at the farm thinking. And yeah, let's get on with the next phase of the operation. Well, that's that done. Now, here's the landscaping I've done. A little bit of tweaking. The horses we had already, they've been exercised today. They're good to go. They're no problem and they've got feed. What I have done is extended this out. I didn't bring it out the same height, simply because to bring it all up to this height would have cost a lot more money. It did cost a fair chunk. I've tried to kind of level it out a little bit. So we've got quite a steep bank down here where we've levelled this. This whole side here has been levelled, and what I've also then tried to do at this end is try and smooth this out a little bit and join it up, so as you come up the side of here it's not a steep bank coming up. Now this is the edge of what is our owned land, so it wouldn't let me extend any further out. It also wouldn't let me smooth any of this out because we don't own the patch next to it, not yet anyway. So on here we're getting chickens. So yeah, bit scary really. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this on simply because I want to make sure the price isn't crazy. We are going to go to, not landscaping, we're going to go to animal pens, and we're going to go with a large chicken coop because I want to be able to do 400 if I want to. I don't think I'm going to go to 400 straight away. Placing it is going to be interesting, in so much as it's perfect right there. It does put all of the feed stuff the other side. Let me come that way a little bit. It will. A bit more pricey though. That's weird. 4,018. Can I get that cheaper? 4,000, 40,000. Which at the end of the day, it's 40,000 to place. Now it's cost me a bit more than that. Oh, did that say 3? There you go. 40,003. So $3 extra to place that. I'm not quite sure why. The landscaping cost me a little bit. So at the end of the day, I'm going to stick it slap bang there. Exciting. I am excited. Can you tell? So let's take that off and let's have a look. A large chicken coop. Nice. Now, as far as putting chickens in, we can't transport them. There's no way to transport chickens in game at the moment, and it is causing some consternation to people. And also there's a lot of stuff online, on Reddit, on the forums, on all over the place, about the chicken to rooster ratio. Some people are absolutely adamant there is a good ratio that will give you maximum productivity. Apparently it doesn't affect the egg production at all, but it will affect the reproduction rate. Apparently, I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. So that's where the eggs will appear in boxes when we've got them. Here will be where the feed goes in. And what do the chickens need? Wheat. That's why I kept the wheat. There's not a huge amount of it there, but I have got some to put into the trough, which will be great. It means I haven't got to buy chicken feed, but if you do want to buy chicken feed, we can go into here, and under big bags we have got wheat big bag, which is chicken feed. 1,500 for 1,000 litres. So I've saved myself so far, what have I got? Just over 4,000 litres over there. So what's that? 6 grand potentially. So I could have made the money on the wheat, but I've just saved myself 6 grand on buying chicken feed. Now they don't take... Do they take water? I don't think they do they? There's no water trough, is there? Okay, right. So in here, we'll open up this menu. So I'm going to need a rooster. I think I'm going to get a couple. So let's get a couple of roosters. As far as chickens, just a mix, I guess. How many am I going to have in here? Don't know. Let's go with about... Oh, I'm not sure. It's going to be a lot, isn't it? Now, by my count, that's 75. Could be wrong. I don't know. So, black ones then? That should be 75. I don't know. And then chickens, brown. Right. That should be 75. I could be off, and looking at the figures, you probably be able to work it out. Now, the thing about this is... there's a fee there, 3,405. That's for transporting them, because you can't transport them yourself. You can't do a thing about that, which is a bit frustrating. But at the end of the day, it's only cost me 14,755. If by my count I'm right, I've got 150, 225 plus the 2 roosters. Actually, you know what? Let's get another couple of roosters. It shouldn't make a huge amount of difference. 4 roosters. Confirm. And to be fair, what's that just cost me? 11,000 something. And then those transportation costs. And then 40,000 for the pen itself. The landscaping, yeah, I mean, I may be into it for about 60 grand or something, 70 grand maybe at the moment. But I want chickens. You know, we've got our horses, we've got our cows. Let's do some chickens. I'm doing sheep on Felsborough. What I need to do now then is get them some chicken feed. That's the next step. So I'm going to grab the telehandler with the bucket, get some of that wheat, pour that into the trough. And before you know it, we should start getting egg boxes. Now, I may be back at that point again, because right early on I got rid of my Mahindra. I might be in the market for getting a Gator or a Mahindra, because there's not, I mean, I suppose there's the pickup, but it's a little bit more expensive, for transporting the egg boxes to sell. Milk-wise as well, I've got milk here. Actually, how much milk have I got? How are we doing contract on that? 33% complete. Oh yeah, there you go, 75. I did count right. 75, 75, 4 and 75. Yes. My counting was perfect, almost. Cleanliness will be interesting. Yeah, wheat or barley, no water. Our cows, we've got 5,101 litres. That's not bad. Our horses are at that. Obviously by tomorrow they'll have gone up in value again. They'll need riding again, but they're all okay. Yeah, not bad. The farm's expanding. It is quite cool when you reach that tipping point and things start to really kind of work, you know, and you start to make a bit more money, and you start to get bigger machinery, and that snowball effect I've talked about quite a few times before. You reach that tipping point, things start to go well. When you think, when I started on here, you know, start from scratch mode, we had 500,000, I think was what we started with, wasn't it? Bought a couple of bits of machinery, and there's been a few bits hit and miss here and there, but now look at the farm setup with the cows and the water and the barn and the hayloft and the horses and now we've got chickens, plus we've got a load of more machinery, we've got a bigger harvester, you know, the mowers now we own. There's a lot more stuff we own rather than leasing, which is going to be absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I'm really pleased. It may sound childish. I know a lot of people kind of like that fact that I'm a bit kind of sappy and, you know, all that, really excited like a little kid, but that's why I love playing the game. If I wasn't excited and passionate about playing the game, what would be the point? You know? I do get mildly frustrated, and it's another one of these where we're going to cause controversy again. He's off again. When people refer to hardcore gamers, and I've probably said this before, that you can only be a hardcore gamer if you play on PC, or you can only be... Why? You know, a lot of people are saying they're fed up with the 2 maps that are in the game and it's boring and whatever. I think sometimes that says more about a person's patience than it does... You know, I'm finding plenty to do on these maps. I'm not ploughing through at a ridiculous rate of knots. I'm thoroughly enjoying playing it. I'm enjoying using the machinery. You know, we are getting mods out. They may not be the mods that you particularly want, but we are getting mods. You know, there's a lot to this game. And like I said before, savour it. Don't rush through it at 100 miles an hour. And then it's almost that kind of, well, I've completed it. But there isn't really a completion. You could play on the same map for months, of course you could. Yeah, you'd probably get a little bit fed up, but, you know, people comment and say, oh, I got fed up with the 2 maps in the first week. How? I don't... I suppose it depends how many hours you put in, I guess, in that week, but I don't know. Like I say, I'm not, you know, I'm not whining, I'm not, you know, it's just odd, you know. Probably got through that fairly quick, didn't we? See how much of this it takes. But that's them fed. Now I'm going to have to at some point then either buy a smallish field and get some wheat in it, so maybe a small plot, fairly cheap, and just do a wheat crop, because I don't want to... does mean that I can get hay as well, not hay, straw, which I can put in the hayloft to help with total mixed ration. That's probably the next step actually I could do with doing that, couldn't I? How much is that going to take? Probably all of it. Yep. Oh, so we don't buy any. Right, how are we looking then? Let's have a look in the menu. Oh, blimey, yeah, we're only just... How am I at 10% productivity? Oh, I suppose because it's got to allow for the fact there's now food in there. They're all going to produce at different rates, I don't know. So yeah, we're not even half full on there, are we? I don't think we've got any fields with wheat in. Oh, hang on. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Growth. Oh no, that's been harvested. Marvellous. What about over here? Nope. Oh man, alive. We just did field 12, didn't we? So we don't have a field that's got wheat in it. Why has that left a strip again? I did that earlier. That's odd. So I don't know what to do for the best now then. I could probably need to buy a plot, don't I? How much is 18 going for? 171,000. That's not too bad. That should give me enough wheat to keep them going, shouldn't it? Got a little bit of land around it. What's this one going for? 280, that's a bit more pricey. 23, 202, and that seems like a smaller field than 18 anyway. What have we got up here? 102,000, that's not bad. Not a very big field though. What's that got in at the moment? Canola. Growth. Okay, I don't really want to... Oh, you know what? I'm going to do 18. Let's get ourselves a field. Oh, that seems like a lot of money, doesn't it? Oh, it's a big decision. No, we're expanding. We're expanding. You know what? Let's buy it. Oh, the money's going to be down a lot now, isn't it? What are we down to? 219. Which, to be fair, is what we were on. We were on 207, and then we finished the cotton contract and went up to 232. Then we sold all the cotton bales and went up to 600 and something. So we've used the money wisely. We've bought a load of machinery, we've now got our chickens, and we've now bought another plot of land. That's the whole point of making the money, isn't it? To expand. I'm not, you know what, I'm not going to stress about that. That's cool. What I will do now then is take this back down and put it ready to clean the feed trough here. And then I'll have to turn my attention to field 18 opposite then. When I've finished doing the sowing contract on field 8, I'll get the seeder over here. I'll check now to see whether it needs lime or ploughing or anything like that. So if it does, I can be getting on with that too. Maybe get some fertiliser on it, and then we can get some wheat in the ground before it gets dark. I think that's probably the best bet, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm talking to myself, but you know what? All the best people do. No, turn the lights off first, then turn the lights off. Nice. I'm on my new field, on field 18. I have got the Kuhn DC401, I think it is. Yeah. Culti plough. This field is cultivated, but it does need ploughing. So it's going to give me, it's going to look exactly the same in all honesty, right? No, worker doesn't want to work with that. Do it myself. So we're going to plough it, and then we're going to get this seeded with wheat. I've completed the contract on field 28. I need to collect the money on that, and I've set the seeder off on field 11, and we're going to put soybean into field 11 this time. The contract on field 8 only used 3,000 litres to complete that contract of canola, so we're all good. And with that, we've come to the end of this episode. We've done a fair bit. We bought some new machinery. We've got chicken coop and chickens. Yeah, we are expanding. I know I keep saying that every now and again, but we are expanding. We're doing well. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.